Things are starting to get crazy over the Champions League as we enter the quarter-final stages. Who's going to have the upper hand after the first legs? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another purchase show. Today we're taking a look at the old Champions League quarter-finals, first legs, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button and you bang it. All things Champions League related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football here on the wall, Ruski. That's right, boys and girls. It's their biggest club competition in the world. It is the Champions League, and we've gotten to right to the meat to the matter. It is the old quarter-final stage. But which team will have the upper hand? We'll take a little look at that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIP band of brothers. I'm talking about the patrons. That's right. You know what I mean. The Patreon VIP band of brothers. Support the channel behind the scenes. If you are interested in becoming the latest band of brother from another mother, check out the link down below. Patreon.com/Roversies. But before all that, or after all that, let's get into it. Of course, take a look at those last matches in the old Champions League, which was the last 16 second legs. So here we go. Here it is, of course, on all its glory, in H-bloody-D, of course, Manchester City, they did take care of business against Borussia Mönchengladbach. They won 2-0 on the night. Kevin De Bruyne, a.k.a. Gundogan, with 2 early goals to give themselves the lead. Actually went with a 3-0 win on that one, so not too shabby on that one for me. Of course, Bayern, they took on Lazio, and they, what happened in that one? Next up, of course, Bayern, they took on Lazio and they won 2-1 on the night. I actually went with a 4-1 win for me. Lewandowski with a goal there. Eric Mexemek-Choupo-Moting on the score sheet with Marco Pavarello on the score sheet for Lazio as they came out on top. So 2-1 was the final score, 4-1 for me. Not too shabby. Next, of course, Chelsea took on Atletico Madrid and they won 2-0 on the night. Hakim Ziyech on the score sheet with Emerson as well. Stefan Savic got himself sent off of Atletico Madrid. Unfortunately, not good enough. 2-1 for me, 2-0 for Chelsea. They go through to the quarterfinals, of course. So we'll joining them will be Liverpool, of course, coming out on top with a what was that score? It was a 2-0 win on the day for them. 3-1 for me. Goal scores on the day. That was back on the 10th of March. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane giving Liverpool the 2-0 win to go through nice and easy. Actually, as for me, not too shabby as well with a 3-1 win. Meanwhile, Juventus though, they crash out. Goodness gracious me. 3-2 on the night. 2-0 for me. Actually, they won on the night, but they crashed out. Well, on aggregate, we'll take a look at the aggregate scores in a second, but Chiesa with a couple of goals there, Adrian Rabiot as well, Sergio Oliveira with a couple of goals, and Mohamed Taremi getting the goals, get himself sent off for Porto as they crashed out, or lost on the night, sorry, but they went through. Goodness gracious, it's confusing. So yeah, out goes Juventus, out goes Ronaldo, to of course, to maybe go again next season, of course, but who will he play for? We'll just don't know. Of course, PSG against Barcelona end up all square. To see Lionel Messi crash out on that one, 1-1 on the night. For them, Mbappe on the score sheet, Lionel Messi getting on the goal score sheet, but not good enough. So 1-1 for them, 2-1 for me. Of course, Barcelona crash out. We'll take a look at those aggregate scores shortly. One team that did make it through was Dortmund. They came through 2-1 on the 2-2 on the night. Actually went with a 2-1 pick for me. Goal scores on the day. Haaland with a brace. Yusuf En-Nesyri with a brace as well for Sevilla. As of course Sevilla crashed out. Dortmund go through, and then wrapping up, then Real Madrid will join them. 3-1 on the night. 2-0 for me. Madrid go through. Benzema with the goal. Ramos, Asenio as well. Luis Muriel on score sheet for Atalanta. But they go home. As you can see, this is the aggregate scores. Of course, Manchester City go through, Bayern as well, joining them. Chelsea, Liverpool, Porto, PSG, and Borussia Dortmund. And of course, Real Madrid make up, of course, the final 8. Of course, we'll take a look at those final 8 in just a second. But of course, let's take a look at your picks. Then, shall we? You know the deal. There's the criteria right there. But let's take a look at how you got on. Adis Nacevic also did good. Could go also did very well. In fact, I think mostly, if not everybody, did well. Olajuwon also did good. Well done to you. Of course, Marcus Lerio. We'll get to you in a minute. Fernando Saint-Germain, not too shabby, because Game Child did bits. Yannick Buster also did good. Of course, Marcus Lelius also did very well. Nicholas Merkus not too shabby, because Ahmed Abadabad, he did crap. Jan Pablo Salgado also did crap. Ivan Stringer, we'll get to you in a minute. Looks like Georgica Isov also did great. And Ivan Stringer did crap. There's actually a few of them, look. Roberto Hollis did good. Of course, Vincent Hong not too shabby, because Rob Roch also did crap. Aroni Reganis also did poopity. Ahmed Umara not too bad as well, with an edit. Bianca Mon also did very well indeed. Adrios did, of course, very well. Of course, Elgin Cao had a shocker. Moses Stenius also did good. Of course, this guy here also had a shocker. Yannick Zayfid also did good. Of course, Tom Stainer, though, absolutely battered it. Home run for him. Of course, Toby the Beast also did good. Russell Frost also did very well. Hans Wurst did okay. Of course, he did absolutely better than okay. So we'll give him a round of applause for that one. Jens van der Poel also did okay. Ola Jojo, not shabby, of course. Omar Esquivel did bits. Mikel Agado, we did a bit down here, of course, also did good. Shane O'Donnell did bits as well. Well done to you, of course. Jakob Nungare, he's okay. And Zigazazee did Craparudi. Pim did, of course, very, very well. Ultra fair play to you, of course. Ryan Long also did good. Costas K, he's okay. Greg M, not too shabby, of course. James PCFC are great. You are great. Of course, Neil Galilei, he's okay. Jade Nagan also did good. Alex Weller, not too shabby, of course. Shepard, absolute home run as well. Mr. 321, Soccer 321 also did very, very well. Of course, Master Fighter, he did good. And I think that's your lot. Yeah, there you have a look. Just take a little look at it. Take a little look at it. If your name is Tom Stainer, Shepard, of course, Hans Wurst, take a bloody bow. You are the kingpins for this week. You're wearing the crown. You are wearing the crown. That's right, boys and girls. So give them the respect where respect is due. But what's that done to the overall leaderboard? Well, here we bloody go. It's a little bit warped. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Of course, and here is Master Fighter with a 5 percentage points clearance at the top of the table. Costas K, he's okay. Sitting in second, of course, Russell Frost in third. You know what? We could be in trouble here. We could already have a winner. We could already have a winner. Let me have a look. Where is Master Fighter? Master Fighter, Master Fighter. I don't even see him. He must have had a shocker of a week. I can't even see him. But anyway, regardless of all that, there is still, what, 4, 8, 9, 10... 11, 12, 13 points up for grabs. Of course, if Master Fighter just decides not to show up or whatever, there's still a potential for you guys to catch up on them. I don't think there's much room for error, so make sure you get your picks in as well. So let's take a look at those illustrious quarterfinals. Here we go. Let's recap, of course, remind ourselves of those last 16 with a bracket right here, right now. Of course, Lazio no longer with us. Neither are Barcelona or my boys, Mönchengladbach. Of course, Sevilla went home. Of course, Atletico joined them, as did Juventus. And of course, Leipzig out, as well as Atalanta. Of course, this is the bracket itself. It is the path to the final. So if Bayern were to go through, they could set themselves up for a nice, tasty semi-final with Manchester City on the other half of the draw. You would even say it's the weaker half of the draw. Real Madrid, of course, one of those four clubs down here will go to the Champions League final. If I was a betting man right here, right now, I wouldn't turn my nose up at Chelsea. They're playing good football. They're playing a solid defensive football. So yeah, good chance for Chelsea to go through to possibly another final where they could meet. Of course, he could even meet his old club here, PSG. That would be another cracker. What other possible outcomes have we got here? We have got possibly Pep's reunion with, of course, Bayern in the semis on this one. We've got these two, of course, already locking horns, which will be tasty. But a Liverpool-Chelsea semi-final would also be very, very well. We could have an old German semi-final as well. It's so many amazing possibilities still to be had in this Champions League. And to be fair, if I were, what I really would want to see would be Porto to win. Of course, they are the major underdog, or Dortmund. I'm going to be back in the underdog throughout the rest of this. I'll be back in the underdog throughout. If Dortmund and, of course, Porto crash out, then I'll be looking at the likes of maybe. I don't really want to see City win it. I don't mind if PSG win it. I don't really want to see Real Madrid win it. I kind of don't really want to see Chelsea win it. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, let's get in deep and, of course, take a look at these opening first legs. Kicking it off with Bayern up against PSG. Probably the tie of the round, I would say, here, depending on where you stand. But anyway, these two sides played each other a whole bunch of times over the last few years. Bayern winning 4 of them, PSG winning 2 of them. Last time they played each other in competitive action in Germany was back in December 2017. It was a 3-1 win for Bayern, of course, back in the Champions League. Group stages, of course, Lewandowski on the score sheet, of course, Corentin Talisio with a couple of goals, Mbappe as well on the score sheet, of course, PSG. Of course, Bayern, though, winning 18 last 19 matches in the Champions League, of course, PSG undefeated in the last 5. Of course, domestically and, of course, all the way around in the other competitions, Bayern come into this winning 5 on the spin. As for PSG, they come into this back-to-back wins, beating the likes of Lille and Lyon in quick succession in the French Cup and, of course, in the old Ligue 1, of course. The bookies odds on this one, PSG will be 15-4 for this one, long shots, of course, 13-8. Yeah, Bayern are your favourites, 16-5 is your draw. Of course, Bayern are your favourites, and they'll be my favourites as well heading into this first leg with a comfortable 3-0 win. And in my eyes, that looks like home and hosed into the semi-finals. Bayern will go, but of course, we just don't know. Next, of course, the other German nation, German club will be Dortmund, taking, of course, Manchester City in the first leg in Germany, I believe, taking place. When does that take place? Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. It's actually going to be the other way. I believe it's actually going to be played in Manchester. So it's going to be, well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, places the 5 times over the years. Of course, Dortmund winning 3 of them, and Manchester City just winning them once. And there's been 1 draw, of course. Haaland up against his dad's old club. That's one a little bit of a food for thought right there. Last time the picture in Manchester in competitive action was in the Champions League back in 2012. There was a 1-1 draw. Balotelli on the score sheet, of course, Manchester City. Marco Reus on the score sheet, of course, Dortmund in a 1-1 draw. City keeping a clean sheet in the last 7 matches in the Champions League. Well, they've actually won 7 last 8 matches as well in this competition. Meanwhile, coming into this, they've won 4 in the spin in all competitions, beating the likes of Southampton, Fulham, Gladbach, and of course Everton in the FA Cup. As for Dortmund, just 1 defeat in the past 5. That 1 defeat was against Bayern, but of course they are drawing a couple of games in that run of 5 games. Look at the bookies odds on this one. I think City will be comfortable favourites. 5-2 on for the victory. 50-4 is your draw. 6-1 is your long shots. That is your Dortmund on this one. So I've gone with Dortmund at home. Is it going to change this? It might change a little bit of this, but I'm going to go with City anyway with a 2-0 win. So they'll take the lead regardless. It's pretty much if I'm just going to go with that. Next up, of course, we have again I've done it again here. Real Madrid taking, of course, Liverpool. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, again it is in Spain, this game. So I do apologise, but again, I think I'm going to stick with my pick whichever way it comes out. Of course, played each other 5 times over the last few years. Real Madrid winning 3 of them. Of course, Liverpool winning 2. They played each other in the final of the Champions League back in 2018. Real Madrid coming out on top. It was a bit of a feisty one, bit of an ugly encounter, but of course Madrid came in out on top, so much to the dismay of Liverpool. Of course, last time played each other though in Spain. I was in the Champions League back in, of course, group stages. It was a 1-0 win for Real Madrid back, of course, November 2014. Karim Benzema on the score sheet back then. Will he score this time? We'll have to see. Of course, Liverpool keeping a clean sheet in 7 of the last 9 matches in the Champions League, whereas Real Madrid have actually won 5 of the last 6 matches as well. Coming into this has actually been back-to-back wins for Liverpool, beating the likes of Leipzig and beating the likes of Wolves in quick succession. They'll take an Arsenal prior to this as well. Back-to-back clean sheets as well for Liverpool for the first time in a long time. As for Real Madrid, they win 3 on the spin, beating Elche, Atalanta, of course, Celta Vigo as well. They'll take an Eibar prior to this match. The bookies odds on this one have, of course, Real Madrid 64 for the victory, 70-10. Liverpool are your underdogs. 12-5 is the draw. Again, I have put this as in Anfield, but of course it is not. 2-1 win for me for Liverpool. I'm standing by it. It's going to be a 2-1 win for Liverpool in the Bernabeu. And then wrapping it up, if I've done it again, I've just bloody done it again. It'll be Porto taking, of course, Chelsea. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Again, taking place in Porto. Bloody Nora. What am I like? Again, I'm going to stand by my pick. And we'll just sort it all out later, or maybe I can do it. Hopefully I can be able to turn it around in the edit. How about that? How about a bit of that magic? Let's get into it. Of course, played each other in the last 6. It's been 4 wins for Chelsea, 1 win for Porto, 1 draw. Of course, it is the Mourinho derby, even though Mourinho is not involved. There's a Mourinho derby. Of course, last time around in Porto was back in September 2015. It was a 2-1 win for Porto back in, of course, September. Andre, coolest name in town. Maicon as well on the score sheet. Of course, Willian getting the goal for Chelsea in the defeat. Of course, heading into this, Chelsea keeping a clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 matches in the Champions League, where Chelsea have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches as well. Coming into this, Chelsea unbeaten the last 5 at the very least. It could be more than that in back-to-back wins. In fact, they've in the last 4 goals of the last 4 games they've conceded. In fact, in the last 5 games they've conceded 0 goals. That's what makes these guys very, very difficult to beat. Of course, Porto coming to this, winning 3 of the past 4. Their only hiccup was the defeat to Juventus in a bit of a thriller. It was, but of course they'll fancy the chances on this one. Of course, bookies odds on this one: 3-1 for Porto, 11-10 on is your Chelsea, 5-2 is your bloody draw. For me, I'm going to go with a win for Chelsea on this one. Even though it's in Porto, I'm going to go with a win for Chelsea. And let's just take a look at the overall odds for the Champions League for these 8 clubs. Porto are your underdogs, 33-1. Dortmund are your second underdogs, 25-1. Then Real Madrid are 10-1, which I think is a bit of a long stretch. PSG are, of course, 8-1. Long shots as well. I thought Liverpool 6-1, Chelsea 9-2, Bayern 7-2, and of course Manchester City are your favourites 9-4. Of course, that's my picks. That's the odds. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this, and we'll do it all again for the second legs when they come around, of course. But until then, of course, make sure you check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and of course Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. But until then, make sure you check out the links down below. Smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, we'll do the second leg soon. Until then, hopefully your team goes through. Hopefully not. If not, don't worry about it. Of course, there's bigger fish to fry out there in the world of football. But anyway, we'll talk about all that and more later on. I'm out.